Gay people of Reddit, has there ever been a situation where you tried to hit on someone that wasn't gay, and what are some of the funny responses you've gotten from them? I'm normally very forward and to the point in bars. I will just walk up and introduce myself. For once I tried to be subtle. I was in a fairly empty bar and I raised my glass and smiled at a woman sitting at the table across from me. She looked like a rabbit who had just been spotted by a wolf. Her eyes became as wide as saucers. Then she ducked her head down quickly, whispered furiously to her friend and ran out to the back patio. When she had finished her drinks for the night and was returning through the bar, she again ducked her head into her jacket and nearly sprinted through the bar. I was just sitting there in shock. I had made no further move to her than to smile and gesture with my glass. TLDR, cyclic woman misinterprets the thought, I want to eat you. People are weird. I have done quite a few times. Loads of straight guys like gay bars for the fun and atmosphere, and to be honest most of the reactions are just boring because it's just me saying sorry and them going it's okay mate. It's not laugh out loud funny, but the funniest was a guy who put his arm around his girlfriend and said I would but she'd want to join in. They both winked at me too. I walked away and carried on thinking I can dance. Had an experience in a bar where a cute guy kept making eye contact with me. It was a straight bar. At the end of the night when I tried to seal the deal he wanted to fight me. Turns out he wasn't being flirty. He was just trying to show he was a tough guy who wasn't afraid of the big dude in the bar. I was being hit on once by a guy who seemed like he didn't really have experience approaching people in bars. He was a little nervous, and he had a wingman to smooth things over. So we're all talking for a bit when the dude asked me where I was from because I looked exotic. But for some reason, nerves, he added no homo. His wingman immediately jumped in and said, you can't say no homo if you're hitting on him. We all had a good laugh. And that was before I told him I was straight. While this doesn't really answer the question, it's also the funniest story in this thread. Hit on a friend of the family who I thought was gay. He didn't like that and took it hard apparently and told my mom. That's how my mom found out that I was gay, so there's that, but even she thought he was gay, so that was humorous. Took it hard apparently. I see what you did there. Just this weekend gone I was a music festival. Met a couple there and their friend. Told the couple if I didn't have a boyfriend I'd definitely have a threesome with them. The dude said if I didn't have her, I'd take you home. Wasn't expecting that. Made me happy with myself. I think the funniest, really the only time I had the guts to ask a girl out I didn't already know was gay, was when I asked a friend of a friend to a Christmas dance. She said yes, which I thought was great, but turns out she didn't realize I'm a lesbian and was asking in a gay way. It was awkward. I don't really know how she didn't know. I'm pretty obvious, but oh well. She turned out to be mean to my disabled little brother anyways, so it was a good thing in the end. God, that sounds a lot like Britta from Community. Straight guy here. Been to a few gay bars back in the day. Married now. Don't go to any bars anymore. Been hit on several times. Nothing over the line. Just compliments, flirting, etc. Never bothered me. Me and a gay guy spent the better part of an evening one night trying to bring the other over to our team. He was selling me on all the finer points of being gay, and I'm pitching him on the pros of boobs and lady loving. It was a very enjoyable and hilarious conversation for us and everyone listening. Butthole, my friend. You can't deny the butthole, but I don't need to be gay to partake of a butthole. Touché. Yeah, I'm talking about touché. Manly laughter and clinking glasses. I'm a straight guy and one of my best friends is a lesbian. I went with her to a gay bar one time and this big, burly bear of a gay man started flirting with me and touching my arm. I told him I was straight and he said, oh, honey, that's a shame. My friend was standing next to me laughing her butt off. Good times. I read his voice as if it was a sassy black woman. Made it perfect. I have a pretty cringy experience. I was living in Kuala Lumpur and hanging out under the Twin Towers with my best friend, a pretty Greek lady. We were having drink and this gorgeous Caucasian male sits at a table next to us and after a few minutes starts talking to us. Over the course of an hour, our eyes kept meeting and he kept offering cigarettes and buying us drinks. That I was sure that he was interested in me. I was floored. After a while, He says he needs to go, but grabs a napkin to write down his number and says he wants to hang out again. After he leaves, I immediately tell my friend that he was hitting on me, and I am really interested in him. She says no, he was hitting on her, and she was interested. After arguing over signs we both received, I say that I am going to call him and outright ask him if he was interested in me. I was so sure. I called and asked him. My world fell apart when he responded that he said sorry, but I'm interested in your friend. I was really embarrassed. To make it even worse, they began dating, and would have to endure being around him quite a bit after until they broke up. Oh, Radiant the Albanian. That has to hurt. Sorry bro. I had a straight friend that I hit on and turned into a great friendship. We went on a coffee date before I realized he was straight. I realized before trying anything handsy, so I never even mentioned it. For about a year we would meet every few weeks for coffee and pie. He moved away but we keep in touch. He was a nice guy and so am I, so I imagine he wouldn't have freaked out. I think some of the reaction comes from the way a person is asked out. I went to a bar Friday for the first time in a while. A man went from talking about hiking to grabbing my dong in seconds. Luckily a nice fellow tapped him on the shoulder and distracted him long enough for me to slink away. Remember, gay guys can be douchey bastards too. In my high school locker room and this guy was like, hey, why are you staring at my butt? I impulsively replied, cause I want to frick you. Oh, carry on. True story though. Good save. Oh, all the time. I have a terrible gaydar, so I've asked multiple guys out before realizing they were straight. But for the most part, they just look surprised and say sorry, I'm straight, and we move on. It's only awkward if they make it awkward. This is a story I have to tell that I still cringe to. My sister set me up on this date with some guy she knew from work. He was the same age as me and we were going to Nandos. Yeah, romance fellas. So, I meet the guy, we really hit it off with a good conversation and walk over to the place. We make jokes over their crappy food and the conversation was flowing nicely and really didn't feel awkward at all. We have a nice time. He seems to be a nice guy and I am in a good mood. We walk outside and I think to myself, it's now or never, so I go in for the hug. Slow and steady. He staggers back a little and says a little awkwardly, what's this? And after a pause that felt like forever he says, I am straight. Turns out my sister misinterpreted a conversation they had and totally thought he was gay. Fairly awkward for both of us, but we are still good friends. Fell in love with my brother's straight best friend at the age of 9 and he was 13. Thinking of all the cringe moments now makes my head hurt. Haha, post 1. Just one PLS. Waiter was being nice and kinda flirty with me, so I flirted back. Everyone at the table noticed. At the end of the night we all asked for his number so we can hang after his work and drink. I was the last one to leave and thanked him and he just told me, hey, your friend, she's gorgeous. I thought being hit on by gay guys was the greatest compliment. Totally made my day and I found it super flattering. Sometimes I'd smile and flirt a little back but let them know I wasn't interested. But then I realized that it wasn't normal to flirt back and I was actually gay. So, I guess I don't have much to contribute to this discussion. I identify as a lesbian now, but in high school, I figured I was at least bisexual. My gaydar has yet to mature fully, so way back then it didn't even exist. I used to hit on straight girls all the time and just cross my fingers. Surprisingly, a large number of the girls I flirted with were curious or flattered enough to take it a step or two further. My favorite rejection, however, was from a Mormon. If I wasn't already married, it'd totally try being gay for you. I had no idea she was Mormon or married. Huzzah. I'm not gay, but a gay guy asked me out once and wouldn't accept the fact that I'm not gay. Apparently this douchebag I used to be friends with convinced him I was gay because I wear skinny jeans and had long hair at the time. I'm not friends with him anymore cause he was a piece of crap human being. Anyways, the gay guy asked me out and I had to deny him a few times. He was really embarrassed when he finally accepted I wasn't gay, but I told him it was all good. I don't hate gay people. Then I ran into him at a concert a few weeks later cause he was with some other people I know from school and we all hung out. He didn't talk much. I think I hurt his feelings. When I was 14 I was lonely and stalkerish. I was spending the summer in my mom's hometown of Michigan. Really nice, quaint town. and a big tourist spot, I saw this really cute guy hanging out with some friends, and I thought, heck, I'll give it a shot. So, I approach him when he's not with his friends, and say the dumbest, cheesiest thing ever. Anata wa koreide desu. What? Haven't you ever had someone tell you how cute you are in Japanese? Judging, confused look. No, just stares at me until I walk away. Well, it seems I've made a horrible mistake, I say, and I've never looked back. I regret nothing. Dude, I just died from that cringe. I'm out. Good night everyone. As a straight guy, I get really annoyed when I'm at a gay bar with another straight male friend and he gets hit on more than me. Once I even approached a gay guy who hit on him just to ask him what was so wrong with me. There's no answer to that question that won't hurt. I'm on the opposite side. I'm assuming that I'm somewhat lesbianic looking, because I'm approached by men and more women than men. I'm always flattered. Who doesn't like being approached? My husband absolutely loves this, thinking that maybe the right chick will come along and he'll get a threesome. Lesbianic sounds like a robot lesbian. I said I'm not gay, but I would totally make out with you, and also I'm gay. Always helps to make them laugh because we made out later and it was awesome. Straight guy here. I was at a bar club once sitting at a table out in the beer garden when a massive Maori guy sits down opposite me. We chat for a bit and he starts hitting on me. I let him know that I'm straight, but he persists. Not in an aggressive way at all. Sort of just playful. He buys me a beer and keeps trying to get me to come dance with him. I politely decline. He ends up giving me his number, just in case, and as he gets up to go, he leans in and whispers in my ear. I give really good head. Then he does a fabulous turn on his heels and struts off. Upvote for the mention of a Maori. Never seen it in this sub. I was at this party, and a guy approached me, and we started flirting, and I'm straight. I actually thought he was straight too, and just being funny, and he finally turns to me and says, "You're really cute," and that stopped me. I turned and said, "Man, are you actually gay?" and H admitted he was, and I proceeded to apologize all over the place. I felt I was leading him on. He was a good sport, though. Really nice guy. I was told by another co-worker that our manager was at a coffee shop and was approached by a random gay guy and was talking to him, and suddenly my manager had to leave and the guy asks, "Can I have your number?" Asking twice. The guy continues, "I thought you were," with the manager responding with, "No, I don't swing that way." The guy responds, "Oh, are you sure?" Laughter ensures in the workplace. I know this question is for gay people, but I just wanted to say I will be floating on air all day if a good looking guy hits on me. How is that not one of the best compliments ever? Well, there was that time when a guy, who was not attractive, accused me of hitting on him and threatened to kill me if I ever looked at him again. Then, a few days later, he and 3 of his sociopath friends jumped me and bashed my head into the pavement. That was pretty funny. Oh, I'm so sorry. My brother is gay and he put his hand on a straight guy's bare chest at a concert as he passed in the crowd. Then my brother got a black eye from the guy. That'll happen. I was at a frat party, and there was this guy dancing it up, and this guy pinged my friend's gaydar. So drunk her decided the 2 of us should kiss. So she approaches him, tries to get him to kiss me, and realizes he's straight. Guy took it like a champ though and was like, "Nah man, sorry for getting your hopes up. Gimme a kiss on the cheek." I also had a guy start dancing with me at a gay bar, ask my friend to take a picture, and then said my friends bet me that I wouldn't dance with a guy. That was a bit less amusing. You have to hit me over the head with a turgid dong to get me to understand. I often do not realize until much later. That guy that asked me to take him for a ride in my sports car was probably not so much interested in my car. I am utterly oblivious. Usually I figure out what is happening when the person hitting on me realizes I am not only straight, but socially retarded. Question to gay people reading this: do you find having straight people at gay bars as being annoying? Isn't the point of going to a gay bar is so you can't hit on guys, girls and assume they are gay? I met one of my best friends at my uni's XR. I thought she was pretty, made a move on her. She had a guy hanging with her, but I figured he was her friend. We talked and really hit it off. Then at the end of the meeting, she turns and kisses the guy. Turns out they've been dating for 3 years. Oops, on the plus side, they are both now very good friends. She thinks it's hilarious that the reason we met is because I wanted some of that. My sober persona is quite mild-mannered and polite, but apparently my drunk self is just a dirty hoe bag. The only straight people I've ever hit on have been my close circle of friends. They are all aware of my Jekyll Hyde issue when it comes to booze, so if I start getting flirty then they know it's time to get me home. I'm never pushy or nasty with it. I'm just a very affectionate drunk. I always apologize the next day and swear it won't happen again, but my friends usually just laugh at me and say they don't mind at all. They've put up with me for about 10 years. Bless them. They take their revenge by not telling me the most embarrassing things I've done and waiting until months later to drop them into conversations to mortify me anew. Ned's horse. Do you still fancy that gig we talked about? Yeah, we talked about it after you insisted on comparing nipple sizes then licked my neck in front of several of our workmates. I could have happily gone on with life not knowing how many people had witnessed that. So I'm in a co-ed business fraternity at my university. We all have pretty close relationships with each other. Myself and one of my roommates are the only two gay kids in the membership of 90+ students, but they are all very accepting of it. Last night we did a party bus bar crawl and some of the new members were there. I have the hots for one of them, and being on a crowded party bus and full of liquid encouragement, I was very close to him. I was jokingly dancing with him, thinking he was just going to brush it off, but he encouraged it more. By the end of the night, he made out with me 2 times, but denied coming back to my place because he has a girlfriend. At least I got to first base. I've never been that good at baseball. TLDR. Danced on a new fraternity member. He initiated a makeout 2 times throughout the night. Still straight though. I've kind of had the opposite of this situation happen to me. I worked at a place where 9/10 men are gay. I had just arrived on the job and had been chatting with a man that I was positive was gay. He told me how pretty I was and how he could see the two of us being great friends. Then a few days later he asked me out. I'm not a flirtatious person, but when I'm around a gay guy I kind of loosen up. I felt awful because I really was not interested in him as anything more than a friend. Even though I had probably sent signals to him when I accidentally returned his flirting I had mistaken for flattery. Oops, poor guy. I have a story from the reverse end. I was at a party, and this guy was hitting on me pretty hard, but he was hilariously funny charming, to the point that I was like frick it, I'll indulge. We spent most of the night drinking and talking, and had a really good time. He asked me out on a date, which I agreed to, and which was more so a hangout. 2 years later and he's one of my closest friends. Not gay, but when I was about 16 I went to the mall with my girlfriend, walking around zoomies and this guy was following us around talking to my girlfriend. Perfect facial features, long blonde hair skater style, nice clothes, charismatic. At first I thought he worked there, but he didn't. I started getting more and more pee off. I went out to the corridor to see if he would keep talking to her. I was going to walk back in and tell him to get fricked or lose some teeth. I walked out and he followed me, kept up with the conversation. Really charming. The conversation started dwindling down and he was like, "You seem like a really nice guy. I like your style." I had crap for style back then. I knew it was a ruse. "What are you doing tonight? Wanna hang out?" I blushed like 1,000 strawberries in bloom. Stuttered, mumbled, laughed sheepishly and said I was busy. "Thanks though, gotta take off, see you later." Went back to my girlfriend and she was like, "You make a new friend," with a little devilish smile. She knew. Maybe I don't know. Rewind to high school. My best friend was adamantly homophobic, so obviously I never came out to them. Still, it was a small town with a major deficiency of gay people, so people get curious. Had a ton of straight people come on to me, even during classes. They'd shove my hand down their pants during movie time. Really weird. Kind of fun. So as I was getting attention, perhaps my friend became interested in getting my attention. They held a birthday party senior year. No alcohol, some drugs. Ended up grinding into a guy when my friend perks up and dares me to kiss them. Even though they said it would be over in 2 seconds and no tongue. It escalated quickly. Ended up pulling away first. Kind of weirded out that I was macking out my homophobic friend. They spent the rest of the night asking me to stay over, hinting at a threesome. TL. DR. Homophobic friend is not as homophobic as they claim. Theory supported that homophobics are just closet homos. I work in an office building and on the ground floor is a salon run by a couple gay guys. Mind you, I'm not gay. The salon has an entrance on the street and a back door in the lobby of the building. I once had to drop some papers off to one of the barbers and I came into the salon through the lobby, through the back door. After I dropped the papers off to one of the barbers, one of the gay barbers told me, "You can come through my back door anytime you want." I appreciated the ego boost. Now I keep my distance. Now you know how women feel about going everywhere. At a sleepover I had one of my good friends who I had a crush on for some time came and we stayed up until the wee hours of the morning. Girls on here know that past 1 AM everyone gets super truthful or giddy, so me and her were the only ones awake and she leans in really close and says she has no problem that I am gay and puts her hand on my upper thigh. I get really excited, she leans in and my heart is in my throat until she whispers, "That guy you dated a while back, is he a good kisser?" I'm not gay, but this really twinky Latina guy I worked with always asked if he could suck my dong in the walk-in freezer. Oddly flattering actually. This one time, I saw this guy who was super cute and all and well dressed. I thought, to heck with it, and walked up and asked him to lunch. He was super polite and turned me down, but whatever, I took a chance. Anyway, when he was about to leave I saw these kids giving him a hard time, calling him a poof and all. This guy just grabbed this kid's sandwich, took a bite, and dropped it on his plate. I once hit on somebody that wasn't gay and now he's my boyfriend. Turns out that he was gay after all. Shocked the both of us. Not gay, but I have a tale of two gay guys hitting on my boyfriend, now fiance, when we were in college. We were at a costume party. I was dressed as a wench, and my boyfriend was a pirate. The party was hosted by a guy I worked with at my on-campus job. He's gay, but I didn't think that my boyfriend and I would be the only straight people at the party, yet we were. I go to the kitchen to get another drink and jokingly tell my boyfriend something like, "Don't you dance with any eligible bachelors while I'm gone." Well, as I'm walking back, I see two guys talking to him. One dressed as Tinkerbell and one dressed as a soldier. If soldiers wore skin-tight army print bodysuits with cutouts in the torso and inner thigh. By the time I get to them, the three of them are hysterically laughing. Apparently it went like this. Tinkerbell: "Hey, do you go to university? Name? Fiance: "Yeah, you?" Tinkerbell: "Yeah." Soldier: "We both do." Tinkerbell: "Yeah, and we love your costume." Fiance: "Thanks. Yours are great, too." Soldier: "So, are you originally from around here?" Fiance: "Oh, nope, I'm from New Jersey." Soldier: "Oh, cool. Hopefully soon guys like us can get married there." Fiance: Pause. "Oh, I've always been able to get married. I'm straight." This is when they all started laughing and I was coming up to them. They told me what happened and the two other guys said how cute my boyfriend was and how cool he was for being the only straight guy at a very, very gay costume party. It's one of those moments when I realized my guy is a keeper. Once a gay guy at a Magic the Gathering tournament was flirting with me. I flirted with him back but wasn't really interested. I wanted to screw that sucker out of some trades. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.